Hey guys, so I wanted to share this with you. I wanted to share this micro adventure with you. This bivy bag overnighter, no tent required adventure, solo trip. Um, and why I'm doing it. So I'm out on the trail now. Just settled into the ride. I always find that it takes a little while when you're on a trip to kind of settle into it, kind of ground in it. All your kind of thoughts, all that kind of noise begins to sort of dissolve. All that everyday stuff begins to sort of dissolve. A bit like getting into your meditation. So what is this bivy bag? No tent required, overnighter all about. So I'm really inspired. Recently watched this presentation and this talk by a guy called Alistair Humphreys. Now, those of you that don't know anything about Al Humphreys, amazing adventurer and adventure filmmaker. And this presentation really gripped me. And what it was about was this kind of philosophy all about going to somewhere that that you're very familiar with, somewhere that you've been many times, to spend the night through the seasons. And what he kind of talks about is that if you go somewhere that you know, somewhere that's very familiar to you, somewhere that you've been many times, you get to see the real changes within the seasons. You get to see the whole world around you beginning to kind of evolve and change. And I really like that. In these last few weeks of being out on the trail, I've really seen the environment, the world around me, the landscape change on a daily level. Only in the last week have I seen the old oak tree there, really kind of burst its leaves and come to life, whereas days before they weren't there. And right now at the moment those leaves are all lime green, yet as the year unfolds they're richen up, they're deepen up as the tannins begin to rise in the tree. So this kind of idea of going somewhere really beautiful, somewhere that you've been once before, and spending the night and seeing the world around you change. And what he actually does is that he goes out on spring equinox, summer solstice, autumn equinox and winter solstice. And I really love that. That really and spoke to me in a really kind of profound way. That much so, this is something that I'm going to make a commitment to myself to do thereafter. And the other aspect of his philosophy that really touched me was that it also gives you the opportunity every 3 months to begin to kind of take stock on your life. Where you are in your life, where you are in your world. What have you done in these last 3 months? Where have your lessons been? What challenges have you gone through? What trials have you gone through? What things have you really grown from? What have you got to celebrate? And importantly, where are you going in these next few months? What are your plans? Where do you want to get to? How are you going to get there? What are you going to implement into your life to be able to get there? And what he really encourages you to do is to take a journal with you. So overnight, spend time, see the changes around you, see the changes within your life, but also journal away. And I just thought, I'm absolutely loving that philosophy. So here we are. I'm deeply inspired by that, and I'm actually on my way out on the trail. I've been out for, I don't know, about 40 minutes now, settled into it. You'll see the bike there, packed up. A little bit kind of lighter than usual, because the other thing is Al suggests is minimalist travel, taking the bare essentials. So I'm not using a tent tonight. I'm bivy bagging and going to sleep under a tarp system, which I show you much later. And for me this is so inspirational, because right now we are planning logistics for a big adventure, big expedition at the end of the year, all the way up through the Caledonian Canal, all the way through the Highlands. So we were looking for simple solutions. We're going to be boffying along the way, and also using a bivy bag and basher. So to kind of be able to kind of learn all of this right now is really exciting. Only a few evenings ago, myself and Sarah spent a wonderful evening with Liam, who trained with Frontier Bushcraft and the likes of Wilde, and some really amazing teachers. So I was able to Sarah and I spend the evening with him learning all about this, which I'm going to put into practice now. So this is such a exciting trip in many ways, and be able to then use that in that big expedition at the end of the year. Only in the last few days Sarah's made touch with the Boffey Association of Scotland, and we're now a member, which is a real big deal, because the amount of wealth of wisdom and knowledge that's shared within that environment is huge. So to be a member of that association is a deep privilege. And also Sarah's made contact with Sustrans Scotland, who run the whole cycle network through the whole of the UK, and Sarah's made contact with them. So big week. So I'm going to see you once I've arrived around about another 17 miles. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye bye. Hey guys, well 17 miles later I've arrived at this beautiful spot here in this wonderful woodland right next to the pond. This beautiful pond, you see. Fantastic. That's where I'm going to be spending this overnight bivy adventure. Yeah, it's dry, a little bit windy, but I'm going to get it set up and create a fire, create a brew, and I'll be catching you all very soon. Hey guys, as you can see I've got a wonderful fire behind me, and I've set up my space. I've got my bivy bag and my little basher set up, really loving it, and it is dry at the moment. It is dry, fingers crossed, but it's wonderful to be out, and this beautiful fire. I'm just going to cook up my supper shortly, and I've got a dandelion and burdock brew to celebrate being out and celebrating yeah, this wonderful micro solar adventure. As you can see, the fire is lovely. It's something about a fire, isn't there? It kind of pulls you in. And I've got my journal, and I'm going to be making some notes. Lots has come to me this afternoon. I think the biggest thing that I kind of realise is, taking all that wonderful inspiration from Al, what a wonderful way to navigate through your year, creating these moments of pauses, these moments of reflection that so often we don't do. From one day to the next it kind of blurs and merges together, but I'm going to really embrace this philosophy and this way of navigating through the year, kind of seeing the world around me change, the seasons change, giving me that opportunity to reflect, which this afternoon, I have many times that I'm outdoors, a big part of what I do, and kind of moving people forwards into their greatness. But I kind of, lot has come to me. I kind of feel that, as I said earlier, kind of that mind noise begins to kind of slow down, a bit like moving into a kind of form of meditation. But yeah, there's the fire. I kind of yeah, it's a wonderful fire, and I'm going to celebrate the fact that first time off my fire steel, first strike off my fire steel this evening, which is not always the way, but yeah, and of course it is full moon tonight. It's cloudy, so I'm not sure I'm going to see her. But it also, randomly, I didn't realise until I got told this morning, it is Earth Day. So yeah, fantastic. It's great to be out at this wonderful spot, which I'm going to show you around very quickly. What we've got is, you've got my basher set up there, and I've got a bivy bag, my sleeping bag in my bivy. It's not a huge basher set up. It took me a little while to kind of figure out the best way to kind of get that up. this afternoon. But you know, as I said, I'm on this wonderful learning curve, learning all these kind of new techniques so that we can go and do this expedition at the end of the year. So you know, the thing is about learning, it's great for you because you know, almost like, you know, a child never stops learning. You know, they're curious, and I really feel, you know, kind of that way to approach all these new wonderful things, you know, that come up in life. You know, don't ever stop learning, don't ever stop being curious. You know, the more that we kind of maintain that and kind of, you know, stay kind of passionate about that, the more we kind of, I believe, we grow as people. So I'm really loving this new learning curve, this new way of doing things, you know, minimalist kind of travel. And I think again there's another great metaphor for life. But we're right next to this, you know, wonderful pond here, as you can see. Let me take you a little bit closer. There's the fire, which is nice and tasty now. There's the pond, so I'm sleeping next to this beautiful pond. There's a little bridge in the background, well, I'm not sure that you'll see. But yeah, it's fantastic to be here, guys. That's going to be me now till maybe later, and tomorrow the other side of this this journey, and I shall see you all very soon.